The year is 1944. The world is at war, and the Eastern Front is a frozen battlefield where men are tested not just by the enemy, but by the elements themselves. On the vast, unforgiving Siberian tundra, a Soviet reconnaissance team faces a relentless enemy, one that cannot be outmaneuvered or outgunned: the cold. The wind howls, driving shards of ice into their skin, stinging their faces and numbing their hands. Each gust feels like a physical blow. Every step is a battle against exhaustion and numbness. Their boots are heavy with ice, and their legs ache with every movement. Supplies are gone, temperatures are deadly, and the landscape offers no shelter. The endless white stretches in every direction, indifferent to their suffering. Their mission is no longer about war, it's about surviving until sunrise. The cold has become their most immediate threat. Huddled together, the men try to share warmth, pressing close in a desperate attempt to keep the chill at bay, but the wind steals it away, seeping through every layer. Frostbite claims fingers and toes, turning skin pale and then black. The pain is sharp, then dull, as nerves begin to die. The cold dismantles them, starting at the edges and working inward. It is a slow, merciless process, and there is no escape. Their senses are dulled, yet in the silence they notice the smallest signs of life. A fox track pressed into the snow, a raven circling overhead, searching for scraps. These glimpses remind them that survival is possible, but the animals are adapted in ways the men are not. The fox and raven move with ease, at home in the cold. The soldiers, shivering violently, burn precious calories they can't replace. Every breath is visible in the frigid air, and hunger gnaws at their resolve. Suddenly, a young soldier spots movement, an Arctic ground squirrel, or siksik, darting across the snow, its fur fluffed against the cold. The squirrel vanishes into a hole, unfazed by the cold that is killing the men. It disappears beneath the snow, safe in its burrow. For the soldiers, it's a fleeting distraction, a brief moment of wonder in a world of hardship. But in that animal's disappearance lies the secret to surviving here, a lesson in yielding to the cold, not fighting it. The squirrel endures by adapting, not resisting. The tundra's harshest teacher is not the blizzard, but the small creature that endures it. In its quiet persistence, there is wisdom. The men watch, unknowingly witnessing the wisdom of adaptation. Nature's lessons are subtle, but vital for those who listen. In the Arctic, survival belongs to those who learn from nature's quiet masters. The cold is not just an enemy, it is a teacher, and only those who adapt will endure. The Arctic ground squirrel, or siksik, is a master of survival, perfectly adapted to one of the harshest environments on Earth. It lives in a world of extremes, where temperatures can plummet far below freezing and the sun disappears for months. In the brief Arctic summer, the squirrel forages frantically, gathering seeds, berries, and plants, doubling its body weight in preparation for the long, unforgiving winter ahead. When darkness and deep cold arrive, escape isn't an option. The squirrel must endure, facing months of isolation beneath the snow. Its solution is radical. It embraces the cold, not by fighting it, but by yielding, allowing its body to enter a state of suspended animation. The squirrel digs a deep, winding burrow, carefully lining its hibernation chamber with soft grasses and fur for insulation against the bitter cold. As winter closes in, it seals itself inside, transforming its burrow into a sanctuary safe from predators and the elements. The squirrel prepares for a months-long sleep, slowing its heartbeat and shutting down its body to the very edge of life, surviving where few others can. To outsiders, it simply vanishes, but below the surface a remarkable transformation begins, hidden from the world above. The burrow becomes a fortress, and the squirrel, a living lesson in adaptation, demonstrates the power of nature's ingenuity. Its survival is not luck, it's the result of evolution's most ingenious strategies, honed over countless generations. The real magic is about to begin, as the Arctic ground squirrel prepares to defy the impossible once again. Hibernation for the Arctic ground squirrel is a plunge to the very edge of death, a journey into a state few creatures could ever survive. Sealed deep within its burrow, the squirrel's body cools dramatically, its metabolism dropping to just 1% of its normal rate, conserving precious energy for the long, frozen months ahead. Its heart slows to a mere couple of beats per minute, and its breaths become so infrequent that minutes can pass between each one, as if the animal is barely alive. Most astonishing of all, its core temperature drops below freezing, reaching an incredible -2.9 degrees Celsius, colder than any other mammal can withstand. At this temperature, its blood should freeze solid, turning to ice within its veins. But somehow it doesn't. The squirrel's secret is remarkable. It supercools its blood, carefully removing particles that would normally trigger ice crystals to form, allowing its blood to remain liquid even below zero. This natural antifreeze, a combination of unique proteins and adaptations, keeps its tissues safe from the deadly effects of freezing. Yet, the process is fraught with risk. Every few weeks, the squirrel must rewarm itself, burning through its fat reserves to clear toxic waste from its system and reset its delicate internal balance. It wakes, shivers violently to generate heat, then slips back into its suspended animation, repeating this cycle again and again. This extraordinary cycle repeats all winter long, a delicate and dangerous balance between life and death, survival and oblivion. When spring finally returns and the ice begins to melt, the squirrel emerges from its burrow, having survived months as a living piece of ice, a testament to nature's ingenuity. It is a feat unmatched in the mammal world, a true marvel of adaptation and endurance in the harshest environment on Earth. The squirrel's burrow is a marvel of natural engineering. Dug deep into the earth, it uses the ground's stable temperature as insulation. Snow above acts as a final, crucial blanket, trapping air and warmth. The hibernaculum, nestled just above permafrost, is shielded from wild temperature swings. This multi-layered defense, earth, nest, snow, creates a sanctuary for survival. It's a passive system, requiring no energy once built, a lesson in working with, not against, nature. Arctic peoples faced the same deadly cold as the Siksik and learned from it. They built semi-subterranean houses, using earth and sod for insulation, just like the squirrel's burrow. The igloo, made from blocks of snow, traps air and warmth, maintaining temperatures far above the frigid outside. Raised sleeping platforms kept them above the coldest air, while ventilation holes ensured safety. These shelters were not just homes. They were energy-efficient, nature-inspired survival machines. The lesson: warmth comes not from making more heat, but from keeping the heat you have. Ancient hunters and the Siksik share the same secret: mastery of earth and snow. Survival in the Arctic demands portable protection, clothing inspired by animal fur. Arctic peoples perfected layering caribou skin parkas with hollow hairs trapping air, mimicked the insulation of fur. Double layers, fur in, fur out, created a microclimate around the body. Details mattered, wolverine-trimmed hoods resisted frost, snug sleeves and boots sealed in warmth. The system was adaptable, venting prevented sweat, which could be deadly if clothing became wet. This wearable technology, refined over generations, kept hunters alive in the harshest cold. The wisdom of the animals became the wisdom of the people. The squirrel's hibernation is the ultimate lesson in energy conservation. Humans can't hibernate, but Arctic peoples mastered metabolic discipline. Their high-fat, high-protein diet fueled their internal fires for long, cold months. Movement was measured. Rushing wastes energy and leads to dangerous sweating. Hunters moved steadily, conserving calories, and rested in tight curls to minimize heat loss. Patience and efficiency were survival skills, not luxuries. Every action was calculated to protect precious energy. In the Arctic, life depends on making every calorie count. Survival in the Arctic isn't about brute strength. It's about adaptation. The Soviet soldiers fought the cold and lost. The Inuit hunter moves with it and endures. The siksik, a humble rodent, holds the key: save heat, conserve energy, use what the land provides. The burrow, the igloo, the layered parka, these are ideas, not just things. Shelter comes first. Stop the environment from stealing your heat. Next, manage your energy with discipline and patience. Use tools inspired by nature's solutions. The siksik doesn't conquer winter. It transforms itself to survive. True resilience is found in adaptation, not resistance. In the Arctic, strength is the quiet art of yielding wisely to the cold.